What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Knockout Sessions. It's your boys, Julio and Milton.
The OGs.
We don't have Jan today, y'all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fucking. Don't even want to talk about him. He should not be mentioned is not here today.
Oh, he's here.
But he's not here. Anyways.
I hope you're having fun, Abby. I hope it was worth it.
Yeah. JN will take over today.
Mm-hmm. My initials as well. That's right. JM. But hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Wait, why the fuck is it smoking?
Well, stop smoking in here.
What the fuck?
We're moving on, JN.
But before we continue with this video, hit the like, the share, the subscribe button. We're gonna have the timestamps on everything in case you guys want to just go to your favorite part of the video. I mean, let's just get right into it, man. UFC 299. I felt like UFC 299 felt like it was a party.
In what way?
In a way of like you just get a bunch of people, old and new, and you just throw them in a room together, and you just say,
Old,
go,
new.
How old are you?
25.
Yeah, plus 25. We'll start with the notable fights in the prelims. Macy Barber.
The only notable.
She had a good fight.
Love the white shorts.
Damn. That's all we got to say about that. Moving on. Mateus Gamrot. He got a boring decision win against a Rafael dos Anjos. I don't know if he looked old, but I mean, he's 39. He keeps up with the young bucks still. Definitely doing better at 39 than Tony is.
Yeah, for real.
So,
I mean, maybe it's just the stamina because he did good in the first round. He definitely won the first round, but I mean, he really let go of the gas second and third. Give Gamrot the opportunity to be able to go ahead and just win by decision.
Just wrestle fucked him. Really, that's what it came down to. And now Gamrot puts himself in a position where he's in a top 5, maybe even top 4. I think it's going to be a matter of what's going to happen in the coming months between the whole Holloway and Gaethje fight. Obviously, Arman and Charles. We'll get to more in the lightweight division later. Obviously, Islam is just, waiting to see who he wants to fight.
Islam's being Islam.
We don't condone that kind of behavior here, Islam. But hey, we get it. And then the other fight that happened that was notable in the prelims was Jonathan Almeida, Curtis Blades. Almeida was winning the fight. Dude was really fucking his way into that. Until Blades said, "Eat my hand."
Yeah, I mean, Almeida literally just hugged his ankle, and I don't know what the hell that was about, where Curtis was just hammer fisting him nonstop, and then they just stopped the fight.
There goes my prospect. I really had high hopes for Almeida, and I thought he would improve his striking, but dude is just good in one department, great in one department, and then he's just average, below average in everything else. So that was his moment of shine, but see, Abby, if you were a true fan, you'd be
or
here.
If you were here,
you'd be here to defend this case for a rematch of Curtis Blades versus Tom Aspinall before Aspinall blew that ACL out in that fight with Blades, which is why the last loss in Aspinall's record is Curtis Blades, because he pulled a Rafael Fiziev and blew that ACL out. Curtis Blades says he wants to run it back with Tom Aspinall.
But there's no title.
There is a title.
Which title?
The interim title.
That's not good enough. Come on.
It's
you know
not.
what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna channel my inner Abby for you, Abby. And I'm gonna say that I think they should strip John Jones at some point. Because really, I mean, Aspinall's earned his shot.
Yeah.
And Curtis Blades has bragging rights and technically got a big high profile win over a prospect like Almeida. So now it's like you got Blades, you got Aspinall, you got Gane, you got Pavlovich. You eventually will throw in Pineda in there. Meanwhile, we're waiting on Jones and Stipe. What the fuck.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I don't get it.
Imagine so you as a boxing aficionado, imagine if in 2015 everything was held up. The Spences, the Thurmans, the Porters of the world were all held up because Floyd and Manny want to get it in.
I know. Stupid. I don't understand.
You know, that's the feeling.
The thing is that technically the only person who has the right to make these choices is Dana, but Dana's not doing anything about it.
Well, he's not going to want to mess with his baby boy.
You know what I'm saying? And
at least a money fight.
Yeah, at least like in boxing, one of the small perks is that one of the governing bodies can decide, like, hey, yeah, we can strip one of these guys if you don't make a fight, right? But here it's just Dana. Dana makes those choices, and he's choosing not to freaking strip them.
It sucks because the heavyweight division is such a logjam, and you have a lot of contenders. Like, what? I think it's because it's just flooding up now while there's a cap at the top.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a soda. You're just shaking it, but it's not going anywhere.
Although, I mean, if you remove again John Jones out of the equation and Aspinall keeps defending that interim belt, I mean, it's technically the same concept of what would have been happening if he actually had a full belt. It just is not as lucrative.
Kind of would be similar as like when Khabib was suspended for a year and like Conor wasn't around. You had Tony Ferguson holding that division up, fighting everybody else.
Yeah,
that's what it's looking like. It's gonna head that way. But hey, props to Curtis Blades. I personally didn't have you winning that fight. You proved me wrong, my little dark bear. Okay, but hey, to each their own. But I'll tell you who I did have winning the fight, and we'll get to the main card now. Life is good.
Peter Kwan.
Peter Yan gets a win, and I really thought it might have been gone to a robbery. I really thought it was going to be one of those situations again, because Peter, please be a faster starter next time. Like, I swear to God, you make it way too intense and close for us fans with the way you fight, because it's like you take round one to load, and then round two probably midway.
Yeah, like midway. He just took over round three.
Just ran with it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good performance. I mean, it definitely gives him the opportunity to bounce back and stay in the conversations, because he was going to fall into that conversation of like, hey boy, like,
what's next for you?
What's next for you now? Like, who are you now? You know what I'm saying?
It was getting scary. Peter, I love you. You're the best boxer in the UFC outside of Poirier.
Best boxer in the UFC outside of Poirier? Okay. So no other fucking goated dude matters?
Oh, you want to know my top 5 boxers?
Yes.
Okay, so in no order, because I'm too lazy for that today. You got Topuria, Yan, Holloway, Poirier, and Strickland. I would put Pineda in there, but Pineda is such a kickboxer.
Yeah, he's not a boxer. He's more of like one-hit wonder type of puncher. What? One-hit wonder? Like, you know.
The tremendous career was a one-hit wonder.
No, pendejo. Like, he only takes his one punch for it to... You're like, whoa!
I was about to show him who's the best boxer in the world. Yeah, that's, I would say, that's my 5 right there.
So what's next for Yan now? So he's back in the conversation.
He called out Chito. He called out Chito. I actually would love to see that fight, because the first round is going to be such a shit show.
Chito takes 3 rounds. Yan takes 1, 2 rounds to get going. So
in a 3-round fight, we're going to have a horrible fight in the beginning. They're both going to be just like feeling each other out for like the first half. But I'll tell you, that second half is going to be fireworks between the two if they fight each other. Because we'll get to Chito in a bit, but damn. I would like to see Yan versus Chito. A plan B would be maybe the loser of O'Malley and Merab. But I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Yan and Merab again, and Merab loses. And we know Yan beat O'Malley. We know we do.
See what you want, boy.
I think Chito's the best rep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Exciting fight.
Because the only other contender ahead of him outside of Marab and obviously O'Malley is Corey Sandhagen. And Jan already lit up Sandhagen. So.
Yeah. I think the easiest one to make right now, I think Marab is going to move into fighting O'Malley, assuming...
We'll get to more on that.
Okay.
I know, right? He's anxious. He's anxious.
Okay. But moving on, we had Gilbert Burns and Adelana.
Jack Della Maddalena. All right. Let me tell y'all something. Just like how I said life is good when Peter Yan wins, you question life a little bit when you see Gilbert Burns lose a little bit, especially the fashion that he loses. But did you see him in tears?
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like...
was it him losing or was it JDM getting the perfect clipping?
I think it was just the perfect timing. And I mean, that's all it takes, technically. Yeah. You know, in most fights, it's just the perfect moment to win a fight.
Like to Poirier Volk.
But I think it was just one of those things where Burns made a mistake, not that Jack did something right.
Yeah, because Burns telegraphed that he was going for the takedown.
Yeah, like I think Jack kind of just, you know, by muscle memory, just threw that knee, you know, but I don't think he was trying to set up the knee is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that he consciously was trying to do.
It was a fast
or
twitch.
Like in his mind, you know, yeah, it was just like a twitch, you know? It was more of a Burns mistakenly thought that he can go for the knees instead of just getting up and resetting again, you know?
Making him hesitate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Burns, look, I personally had him winning the fight. He was literally just a couple seconds away from winning it, honestly.
Yeah.
As far as like...
So the question here is more is like, is this really a setback? You know, because he wasn't looking bad. It's just he made a mistake, you know? It's different when like you lose a fight, you know you got your ass, you know, beat, Tony, you know, type of vibes.
Volk.
It's the same thing. He made a mistake. He was winning that fight.
I think Burns is in a position now where, by the way, props to him. He no reason to fight a dude that's like 7 spots down from him.
Yeah.
He pulled the Dustin Poirier, but unlike Dustin Poirier, backfired on him. I think what's next for Burns is like now you got to make a fight with maybe the winner of Vicente Luque and Joaquin Buckley or Sean Brady, Gilbert Burns. But now it's like Burns is in a purgatory state where now he keeps giving that shot to the younger cats, and so that could eventually make him look bad.
Yeah.
Or he'd be like Dustin Poirier. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, you know, you feel bad for a guy like Burns who's so active, and really it's just because he came off that injury. I think he would have beaten Bilal if he wouldn't have gotten injured.
Yeah.
I think he was winning against JDM. So I think we're seeing Burns now in that Peter Yan stage where like maybe it's just a shitty schedule and you know talent.
Like whoever they put him against next, he's gonna have the same pressure that Peter had. That he's gonna have to come out, show out, no excuses. But you know, sometimes I feel like that's what makes him more cautious and ends up then really start making the real mistakes. You know, and then he just falls in the rabbit hole of he can never get out of. You know.
And then for Jack Della Maddalena,
Ian Gary.
I mean,
do you really think he's going to be able to contend with any of the other top guys?
I mean, no. So I'm going to talk like a promoter real quick. I think when Dana White saw, or like a promoter, any promoter who saw the JDM beat Burns, you kind of went, fuck. You know what I'm saying?
What's the fuck going to do with this kid now?
Like, let me see the ranking of that, because I'm pretty sure Gary is probably going to fight Colby Covington.
Oh, Colby?
Yeah. So when you look at the welterweight division, I mean, the updates haven't came out yet. You got Maddalena, who's probably going to move into like top 5 right now. You got Gary and Colby. You could do a rematch because it got scrapped because of injury of Maddalena and Brady. That fight was supposed to happen a year ago.
Yeah.
And it got scratched because Brady got injured.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what makes the most sense if Ian moves towards fighting Colby. And now you would do kind of backwards. Brady fight Colby, Ian fight JDM.
Yeah, that whole section of 4 through 6, maybe even 8, you can really just mix and match there. But JDM, ballsy on your part, sir. Very ballsy on your part. But you You're signing a death warrant with who you asked for. You don't call out Shavkat Rakhmonov.
I know. I was very involved. After that performance, I mean, I don't know.
Shavkat will piece you up, and he'll tap you out after piecing you up. So, I mean, you could do Shavkat. I mean, if you want to keep him active while, Leon and...
Because then he's just going to work down the list backwards. You know?
Yeah, but personally, I'd rather see Shavkat and Usman if Shavkat's looking to stay active.
Yeah.
Personally. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have a little bit of a clusterfuck there. You could also do Burns and Neal, Jeff Neal. You could also do Burns, like I said, against Luque. Yeah, I mean, after that, it's welterweight is a little scattered. But yeah, JDM, props to you. You got a good win. Nobody really counted you in on there, especially against Burns. But we move on to the next fight, which was Kevin Holland, speaking of welterweights, versus MVP. How did you feel about that fight?
I think based on the amount of hype that was on this fight, I think the first round probably was the best round because MVP definitely was out there really fucking pressuring. Obviously, his awkward style, like Kevin Holland was really getting frustrated with him. But I feel like maybe MVP felt a little bit of Kevin Holland's power, and like he slowly kind of just started playing defense and moving around too much. That kind of made the fight not that interesting towards the end. Like what we saw in the beginning, where they were both just fucking going at each other, I think that was great. Yeah. But I think it kind of just died off towards the end, and you saw Kevin Holland's freaking frustration at the end, where he was just like, bro, like, what the fuck are you doing,
I think Kevin Holland finally met somebody cockier than him. That's what it came down to. And so now Kevin Holland, it was I had the first round to MVP and I had the second round to Holland. Especially because Holland was actually applying a lot more grappling. In that third, I feel like Holland was so frustrated and so annoyed that he kind of let the round go. Because there was a sequence where MVP was like dancing on Holland. And then Holland starts dancing like they're making fun of him and shit. I'm like, what are we doing, guys? You got a minute left. Like, go get him. And then he started telling him. And then there was that one sequence where I think at the beginning of the third where Kevin Holland was going in for the handshake or a high five.
Oh yeah, this guy just fucking
got clipped. And then Kevin Holland basically said, "You're a bitch for that." And I don't know. I think Holland should have won the fight. He low-key has more tools and had the style to beat MVP. And I'm not saying dominate him, but I think that third round he could have taken it if he wasn't succumbed to his feelings. A more disciplined fighter would have taken out MVP in the third.
Yeah, because you kind of saw in the first round where MVP was really fucking pressuring Holland. Holland was having a hard time finding his defense, and I think towards the end of the fight he found it, but MVP just didn't want to fight no more. At that point, he was just trying to survive, secure the win. So, I mean, kudos. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what the fighter can find a way to win. I mean, that's the goal at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But I think there was just so much hype. But we really thought this was going to be like a fight of the year type vibes, and it just ended up being just another regular fight.
Yeah, I mean, really, the fight of the night went to
Dustin,
the star of the night, the man that said, "I'm not going anywhere." What happens when you pressurize Cole?
Because diamond hands.
Dustin the Diamond Poirier, even at 35, showing the curse isn't all the way real.
You didn't believe in him. I said he was going to win. I said he was going to be a repeat of Fiziev and Gaethje, and you said, I don't know, ex-military French fucking forces or some shit you said, I don't know what the fuck, that this guy used to be an assassin, he can like gay you, that he fucking was undercover cop, he can like, I was like, bro, that doesn't matter.
Look here, schmuck. All right, I'm the one that said that Fiziev and Gaethje is giving me the vibes of this fight.
I said that.
Look back. We have it all on camera. We have the receipts on receipts on receipts.
Because you were counting out Dustin.
No, I did say that Benoit is a danger. Even though he was ranked like 12th or 11th, that's not a normal 12th or 11th. That's a dangerous man. And he still has a future because he still looked damn good. He was pressuring the shit
I think that's what
was his detriment.
I think that worked in Dustin's favor because of Dustin's style.
Oh, you trade in the pocket with Dustin?
Because Dustin was willing to take punishment because he kept fucking just making sure he got those counters in when Benoit was coming in, and I think that's what made the difference. Obviously, he has power. Obviously, he can punch and he can box and stuff. So I think that just made the difference in this situation. Any other fighter, maybe Benoit probably would have beat, but I think this just kind of played out to Dustin's favor.
Yeah, and I think Benoit's gas tank also was starting before he got taken out, starting to show itself.
Yeah, because I think that also helped Dustin a lot because he was gassed, I think, but he pushed through it, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch that first round, dude, Benoit was in Dustin's face all 5 minutes. Like, he was relentless. By the way, Dustin, I promise you, you will have your guillotine submission win one day.
We're gonna do like 7 attempts.
Yeah, and he did the same thing to Khabib. He did the same thing to Charles. I promise, Dustin, it'll work one day. Keep trying, buddy. That's actually a really good defense on a grappler. I mean, it kind of worked and kept Benoit at bay, but Dustin, you were the man still. To me, I don't care what anybody says. I know Abi disagreed with me when I told him this. To me, Dustin Poirier gets a belt today, he's the greatest lightweight of all time. Resume to resume against everybody.
He's fought everyone.
He is the great over Charles, over Khabib, over anybody. The one, he's like that basketball player, like an Allen Iverson or a Charles Barkley. Where you're like you're a legend, but you never won the big one, you know. And if you would have, you'd be in those talks with Kobe, D Wade. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is Dustin. He is the Allen Iverson of UFC. Like, you are one belt away, buddy. And the interim belt, I get it, does kind of have some merit because, especially during, again, the Khabib era. It's crazy how the Khabib era had like 2-3 interim champions. But anyways, you know, Dustin is goated. Like, he's
for sure
the greatest undisputed champion of all time.
Yeah. Like, if you want a shot at that belt, you have to face Dustin. No questions asked. And for the most part, he's really beating everyone. And again, kind of what you said about Burns, same thing with Dustin. Like, he didn't have to give Benoit the shot. You know, there was a huge gap between them. But big kudos to him. If anything, that really pushed his stock way higher due to the fact that he gave a shot to someone that he didn't have to.
Yeah.
He was a very dangerous opponent, and he showed out.
This is the kind of stuff that'll make fucking legacies right here. Like, we'll look back and be like, bro, like, that was a fight he probably should have lost. Everybody counted him out. But Benoit, as far as Benoit goes, you have a bright future, my man. I'm low-key still a fan of yours because you come to and you bring it. Yeah. And I would love to see you maybe get a fight in with somebody like a Rafael Fiziev, Dan Hooker, maybe the winner of Jalen Turner and Renato Moicano. But you got a bright future, especially because he's only 28. Like, the dude, this might be one of those fights that he needed, like how Fiziev needed the Gaethje
just
fight.
The experience, man. That'll just get him going. And I mean, with that experience, they're, like you said, they're just going to want to start pairing him up with higher competition because they see what he's made of. Yeah. Technically, you can low-key argue that he was winning the fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of scenarios like this throughout the day. But for a quick second, let's give a shout out to these lightweights right now at the top of the cream, which is like guys like Charles, Gaethje, and Dustin. Bro, they're not letting go of the generation right now.
Yeah, for real.
Like, they're literally stopping everybody. Charles, you're up next again against Saryukian now. Like, we are looking at possibly, outside of Islam, we don't count Islam, the holy trinity of the lightweight division that we haven't seen since Khabib, Tony, and Conor. You know, those three names. Again, none of y'all are champion, though.
Charles was.
At least Charles was. And Gaethje's a BMF champion, and Dustin is an interim champion. So I guess all three of them have cachet.
Yeah.
So, again, that's the holy trinity of gatekeeping right there. Islam, you are in safe hands, buddy, because you have three capable gatekeepers.
But see, now, we all want the Charles fight.
Islam and Charles.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all want the Charles fight. Gaethje was technically next, but he's fighting Holloway. But apparently this morning, Islam's manager said they're trying to maybe make the Dustin fight with Islam and Judy.
It's a money fight. I get it. Ali. Don't make me get Connor on you. Mind your damn business, boy. And you know what's funny is that he wants that money fight because... Actually, I don't know why Ali's so stupid. He's managing Gaethje too. He could make Gaethje Islam like that.
But I think it's because they're trying to make it by June. Gaethje's about to fight in April.
Oh, so Ali, are you broke? Shut up, Ali. Don't nobody go. You know, Ali's the same guy that goes on Twitter and he pretends to be these fighters sometimes. Like he'll talk. Yeah, stupid Jack. Shut up, Ali. Nobody respects you around here. I don't think even Dana likes you. But no, I think we need to see Islam Charles. If Charles wins. I agree. I think right now it's Islam Charles if he beats Saryukin. And Saryukin wins, obviously we get Saryukin Islam. Then Charles loses.
Dustin Charles.
You want to see that rematch?
I would think a good step up fight for both to try to get their shot again.
Yeah.
A good fight.
Or yeah, I mean, it's bound to happen. One of those three names that I mentioned, Poirier, Gaethje, Charles, one of those three is going to have a rematch or a trilogy. Speaking of rematches, Chito, before we go into this, you have the heart of a dog, my boy.
Yes, sir, you do.
You took some shots that would have killed a man. But
like I told you last night, man, I think this is one of the negative aspects of having a chin. Holy shit, motherfucker took a beating, bro.
Bro, you win respect, but you lose brain cells.
Yeah, bro.
Holy shit, did your brain get
sometimes rattled? It's okay to just go down and say, I went out.
No mas.
Yeah, like it's okay, bro. But I mean, I guess having a chin, being a dog like Chito, I mean, he started technically giving a fight at the end. Like, it was like after, like you call it, he's not going to show up until the third round. In the fourth round,
Raymond, if you're watching this, I know you're watching this, my boy. I'm going to give you a shout out because you're such a loyal fan. I told you. We told you. We told you.
100.
In KOSessions, we trust. And finish that sentiment, boy. Take it away.
But yeah, Chito fucking round 4, he came out, he found his spar, he started piecing up, you know, O'Malley, made him bleed, and at the end of the fucking 5th round, he gave him that nasty fucking body shot.
Yeah. Took his lights out. Dude had to sit down and celebrate. He couldn't even celebrate. That was for good measure from Chito. He's like, you might win. Boom, but you ain't celebrating this one.
100%. So for sure, Chito's a dog, man. But yeah, I think O'Malley really got the experience he needed. I think he's really starting to perfect his craft. But I think you mentioned yesterday, if you get a good striker in there with O'Malley, though.
A great striker.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of durability. Like, if you can get someone who can actually start touching him up early, you could probably break him down by the 3rd, 4th round.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, props to, like he said, Sean put on an absolute fucking clinic out there. I literally scored it 55-45 or 50-45. One of the judges had 50-44. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Sean, you looked great. You were meant to win this fight, though.
Yeah.
Cheeto wasn't ever really a true number 1 contender. The reason Chito got that fight for everybody watching is because of the rivalry with O'Malley. It's very similar to like when Masvidal got that rematch with Usman.
Yeah, because you swore he would win because he would have more time to train.
We all have our favorites. You know, you swore Walt would win.
He was winning. There's a difference. He was winning and he made a mistake.
Anywho, the number 1 contender, before we get to who you want to fight, Sean, is Merab, the Mexican-Russian Valishvili. All right, Merab's earned it.
Yeah.
Merab's beaten 3 straight former champions, Jan, Cejudo, and Aldo. That is not easy. The fact that Sean O'Malley called out Ilia Topuria, first of all, Sean,
well, it's because Sean also he struggled to make weight this fight. He mentioned it. It's been talked about. He's struggling to make weight. So I understand him trying to start hyping up the Poirier fight. So if he can't make weight no more, can you really judge him for wanting to move up?
If he absolutely can't make weight anymore, sure, why not? But here's the thing. Ilya already shut down that fight.
Yeah, because he wants fucking Islam.
No, because Ilya said you already have a number 1 contender, Merab. Merab is Ilya's friend because they're from Georgia, remember? So Ilya's not about to like not promote his homie.
Yeah.
You know? And Ilya said, I have a title fight anyways in November, a defense. We probably think it's going to be Volk. But props to Ilya for making the fight in November.
Give Volk some chance.
We would have done it in like June or July.
Yeah, I would be like, no, Volk, don't do it, bro.
So November is a good time for your rematch.
Yes.
Okay. No excuses by November, yeah.
Oh, I have no excuses. If Volk loses again, I'm saying it here, he's out. It's done. Like, Ilya just is better. He saw the mistakes that he probably was making when he was losing the fight, adjusts that, and then just rebeats Volk. That's it.
Which is why, let's just for the sake of bullshit, how does Ilya do against Sean? Or how does Sean do against Ilya?
I don't know, because even Sean gave Ilya respect. I think Ilya has that style that we're talking about of pressuring Sean and being a good striker. And then on top of that, if he starts tiring him out by taking him to the ground, you know what I'm saying? So, I think I would favor Ilya still.
I think Ilya would be the favorite as well.
Yeah.
I think the fights to make is O'Malley and Merab. I think you got Corey. Let me tell you guys something. I know we don't talk about him a lot. Sean versus Corey Sandhagen. Because they're so similarly built. They're both tall, they're both long, they're both lanky, they're both strikers.
Yeah.
That would be such a striking delight for guys like Milton who loves striking. Like he would fall in love with that kind of fight.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind Corey and Sean going at it, but I think Corey might end up fighting Umar Nurmagomedov. There's a lot of good pieces, but Merab is definitely the undisputed number 1 contender. Don't David Benavidez him, Sean. Don't do that.
I think that's your door to open to our next subject. Is that what you're doing?
Well, before we get to all that, before we do all that, we move from the glorious night that was UFC. I actually enjoyed it. By the way, the next 4 fight nights, my God, I'm gonna have to really push myself to go through them.
Yeah.
But we go from UFC to the other big headline that happened.